All right, so good morning once again.
Yes, good morning once again. And you're still here on the AM show.
With myself and...
With myself. Do your kids do that to you? Sometimes repeat everything that you say.
No, they don't.
They're too grown now.
Yeah.
Do they ever do it?
No, they don't.
Okay, so I'm going to try and do it to you today then.
Why?
Off air, just because it's so annoying. And I love seeing that look, you know, when you kind of scrunch your face and you're like, oh, leave me alone.
Okay, let's get into the news.
Anyway, can I say hello to my friends? I mean, I'm just coming on now. Do you mind? Can you give us a minute? Okay, well, hello. If you're just tuning in, good morning, and welcome to the AM show with myself and Israelite, of course. Okay, now we can get into the newspapers.
All right, so on the front page...
But me, I want to talk about Nigel Gaze's TikTok video. You okay? You continue. Why? When you finish? When you are finished.
What about it? It's in the daily...
Is it Cartier or Carter or Eddie? What's the idea? Cartier.
But which brand is that actually?
I don't know. I was thinking it was maybe Cartier. Or maybe there is a cartel.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, Nigel Gaze hot over TikTok girl. And you know, it's interesting. This story actually started going around before, I think, New Year.
Okay.
But it kind of simmered down until the Umofia Chronicles. Then it's like, oh, die. So I don't know. But a video of a shirtless prophet, Nigel Gaze, in a suggestive posture with a TikTok lady has gone viral on social media. He says that that's his sister's daughter, right?
Yeah.
So if you've seen the video, it's an interesting video. For me, it could be anything. It's neither here nor there.
Really?
Yeah. So he says, "Funny people, ignore them. This girl is my blood sister's daughter. Wicked people." He wrote on Facebook. So you know, it's two things. It could be whatever people think that it is, but it could also be a niece. And the reason I say that is, you know how troublesome the young generation, you know, of TikTok girls are, for example. They're always trying to get into one video or another. They're always trying to do something. There's actually so many other family videos where you see the younger, you know, girls in the family kind of just worrying their uncles or their dad to try and get them to do videos, you know, and stuff like that. I can relate in a certain way. It's like when my daughter is trying to get me to do videos with him. So we can't completely rule it out.
Okay.
You know, in the first place.
But in this case, the story goes on to talk about her, you know, controversial relationships with other women. You know, mentions Miss Bell and all of them. So the first time Prophet Nigel has been in the news about his relationship with a woman has become known as a controversial man of God, also because of his associations with women. But I really do feel like this is kind of like a clap back over the whole Umofia thing. Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe Prophet Kofi Oduro will have something to say about it.
Okay, you may as well finish.
I may as well, right? Okay. Yeah. Other stories on the front page. 5 highway policemen interdicted. Power abuse claims. AG rubbishes Atuforsen. So the Office of the Attorney General has described as rather absurd and misleading claims by Member of Parliament for Ajimako Enyan Esian constituency, Dr. Castle Atuforsen, that the office is abusing its prosecutorial powers by putting him on trial. Okay, we talked about this 7% pay rise for public workers, also on the front page of the Daily Guide. Let's do a few international stories. President's palace on fire as state of emergency declared in Kazakhstan. Petition calling for Tony Blair to be stripped of knighthood reaches 670,000 signatures. Oh, I do miss seeing Tony Blair's face. So the former prime minister was made a knight companion of the most noble order of the Garter in the Queen's New Year's honours list. However, a petition started 3 days ago has said that he's the least deserving of any public honour due to his involvement in the Iraq war. Interesting. Well, I guess the voice of the people maybe is the voice of God or not. We'll see how that goes. Uproar as Macron vows to piss off unvaccinated. So French President Emmanuel Macron has been accused of using divisive, vulgar language after he used a slang term to say he wanted to make life difficult for unvaccinated people. He said, I really want to piss them off and will carry on doing this. I think that's a little bit sensational. We all know that, you know, when you say something's pissing you want to piss somebody off, you really just want to annoy them. So the point is get vaccinated, right? And then this wouldn't even be an issue. North Korea angers neighbors with new missile tests. North Korea is always doing something, always. They're just doing the most. Oh my God, just when you thought it was calming down. New coronavirus variant identified in France. Wow, I love that reaction.
Yes, we're yet to finish dealing with Omicron. And another one.
Well, just when we thought things were looking up at least a little because of the Omicron variant, even though it's more contagious, it's milder, a new variant has emerged. We don't know yet how dangerous it is or even where it originated. It was detected in early December in a traveler who returned to France from Cameroon, the hospital IHU Mediterranean, something in French. He's infected 12 people in southern France. So the new mutant called B1640.2 has 46 mutations in an atypical combination. Oh boy.
I know, right?
Okay, so it has something which is in its spike protein and possibly reduces the effectiveness of COVID-19 vaccines.
Oh, wow.
This new variant. So anyway, we'll keep our eyes on that. Yeah. Banana-made brew kills 11 in Rwanda. Okay, there are lots of interesting stories. Stay away from false prophets. The problem is how to know if they're false or not.
Yep.
So okay, Center Spread Anthony Wood, Jasmine Barudi win big at 2021 Ghana Movie Awards. Robbers attack Nigerian actress. Energy Minister upbeat. Just a few more stories, Israel. I know I'm behaving like you when you're doing the Daily Graphic. Invest now.
Normal if you're doing the first paper.
Yes.
Take a bit of time.
Okay, is this you excusing yourself? Invest now, enjoy later. Musicians told Mentorex. Okay. Finally, Sierra Leone coach receives death threats. FIFA explains South Africa protest dismissal. AFCON stadia capacities limited due to COVID. Super Clash, Hearts Kotoko, confirmed for February 20. So this should be interesting. February 20. Okay, it's happening at the Accra Sports Stadium at 3 p.m. I'm definitely going to go and see this one. Yeah, okay. Are you going to come? You should come with us.
Okay, if you're inviting me, then yes I'm going to come along.
And maybe yourself and Louisa. You guys football stadium fans?
Nah.
No?
No,
Why?
not at all. Not at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. When I go to the stadium, I can't go way up because I'm really scared of heights.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I kind of have to sit pretty low. But okay, February 20th shall be the day.
Oh, yeah. We'll see how that goes.
Yes, okay, cool.
Okay, let's go to the Daily Graphic. Base pay for public workers. That's on the front page of the Daily Graphic. And yeah, we know that they're going to get 7% instead of the 4%. And Boku chieftaincy clashes, accused persons denied bail. And that's one of the stories I'll be coming to. Let me see if I can actually go to that now. Yeah. So an Accra Circuit Court has refused to grant bail to the 12 accused persons arrested for their involvement in renewed chieftaincy clashes in Boku. In a ruling yesterday, the court presided over by Mr. Emmanuel Lesando held that the Circuit Court did not have the jurisdiction to grant the accused persons bail. The presiding judge explained that the matter before him bordered on fundamental human rights, and as such, it was only the High Court which had jurisdiction to grant bail, and the names of the accused persons have been listed in the Daily Graphic. Okay, back to the front page. Constitution Day tomorrow, build on gains, governance experts. So, as the country marks Constitution Day tomorrow, which is a holiday, right? 4 governance experts have underscored the need for the country to build on the gains of the 1992 Constitution. Constitution Day, a public holiday, has been set aside to mark the promulgation of the 1992 Constitution and the birth of the Fourth Republic. Okay, but yes, there's been talk already about the fact that we should be looking at reviewing the Constitution.
Yeah.
And,
we've actually talked about it at length.
Yeah.
You know, another thing about the Constitution that was very interesting. When this whole e-levy thing came up in Parliament, there was a lot of the NDC were using particular sections, the MP were using particular sections. And you realize that there are some areas that are a little...
Gray areas.
Yeah, but not necessarily even gray. But we haven't actually faced issues like that before, which have not really required the Constitution to be very clear. So it's subject to interpretation, room for ambiguity. So I think, based on even that alone, it would be interesting to have that review, the Constitution and the standing orders in Parliament as well. Then we can stop this 175, 175. Somebody had gone here, somebody had gone out, somebody, definitely can't do that again.
All right, and then some internationals. Niger mayor arrested over huge cocaine haul. So a Nigerian mayor and his driver have been arrested by the police for attempting to smuggle 214 kilos of cocaine to Libya. The Central Office of the Repression of Illicit Drug Trafficking said the drugs seized, as well as the arrested mayor and the driver and their vehicle, were presented to the press in Niamey. They had been transferred to yesterday. An SA president receives a report on corruption. And, there's this opinion piece I want to believe. It says, what if women dominate in parliament? So it goes till we get female-dominated parliament, a female-dominated parliament. Flexibility should be guiding principle to all male MPs when tempers are high in the chamber. Because I'm imagining if there's a brawl in parliament and it's between two women, or several women. Is it going to be worse than what we saw?
It'll be pulling off of wigs.
Oh,
no! Pulling off of eyelashes. Can you imagine? Cat money or here, like I know one time. About wig. Yeah, it will be, be something else. I don't know if women, there's a tendency for women to
brawl?
Physically, no, not to shout and stuff, but to get physically aggressive with each other, especially if it's not over a man.
Okay.
I don't really know.
They probably maybe end it with...
I think they'll probably really shout, maybe walk away.
Terrible insults.
Insults, maybe cry, maybe, but I don't know about actual physical violence.
But I think as for the wig thing, it may just happen.
As for the wig, there for sure.
Yeah.
It's top 3. Wig off at once is like the first thing, yeah. So that'll be interesting.
Let's get to some other stories. Is Ghana ready for nuclear power plants? It's an opinion piece, and I say, I think Ghana is ready. Like the world is moving towards that, and so it's something we need to.
The world is moving towards a lot of things that we're not moving towards.
We've exhausted all our base load when it comes to nuclear or power actually. So we would have had an Akosombo Dam. We can't have another Akosombo Dam. And yet we need like a huge load of base load of electricity, and nuclear apparently looks like the main option, and so we should be looking at that seriously.
We'll see how that goes.
I know government's already working on it, so in time we're going to get to know where exactly we are. So moving on to the center spread, Ghana assumes UN Security Council seat. More people turn up for COVID-19 jab, which is good.
Well, yeah, because it's kind of getting to the point where if you don't have it, life is getting difficult. Remember that the beginning of this week, all the ministries and when you go, if you don't have your COVID-19, you can't get in. Yeah. So
Okay, and so they've also added the number crunch here. They say 8.8, so 8,827,253 people by January 3 this year. They have, so that's the number of doses that have been given.
Okay.
And it also goes on to say that about so nearly 3 million people have been fully vaccinated. And then we have 6.6.
With one dose.
With one dose. Yeah. So, we're making some headway. So people should go out there and just get the jab. Rescind decision on benchmark value, NDC urges, which was a story which was on the AM news. And then my goal is to break the 8. That's Stephen Asamoah Batting, who's gunning to become a chairman of the New Patriotic Party. He wants to be the national chairman. Benchmark value reversal on hold for 24 hours. So barely 2 days into the implementation of the reversal of the benchmark values on some 43 imported items, the Ghana Revenue Authority has deferred the implementation for a day. So they're just deferring implementation for a day, just a single day. It doesn't mean that it's been scrapped entirely. And the decision to defer it, it says, according to the GRA, was to allow importers who got their duty bill before the initial implementation date of January 4, 2022 to pay and clear their goods. So, yeah, I'm sure they're going to come back with it. But the calls, yesterday on the show, we had the Ghana Union of Traders Association. They're saying that, well, they don't quite have a problem with it, but they think that government should look at maybe phasing it. So they could start with some items and decide that, okay, we're reversing
on these, as opposed to just the overall.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the.
I don't pay or beto.
How Koforidua ushered in New Year. Congregants fill up churches. 30 newborn babies welcomed. And okay, let's get to a few more stories. Mechanization key to rice production. That's an expert saying. The policy advisor at the John A. Kufuor Foundation, Nana Ama Opondia, has expressed optimism that investing in agricultural mechanization will help the country to be self-sufficient in rice production. Says you need tractors, threshers, irrigation facilities. It's very easy to buy a tractor, but what really takes time is putting in place irrigation infrastructure and preparing the land so you can plant. A distribution of food to SHS is ongoing. Reverend John Intim Forjo, he's saying that the Tewu suspend strike. So that's just a day after they actually started the strike. A brew craft village to boost income of local artisans. And MTN reviews data prices for broadband services. In sports, Ghana to host African Paralympic Games. And on the back page, Algeria punished Ghana 3-0 for costly errors. And GFA beats up Black Stars technical team. That's it for the Daily Graphic.
Okay, I'm getting into the Ghanaian Times. Don't lose touch with grassroots. Kufuor advises NPP. Ghana, most peaceful in West Africa. President celebrates and urges Ghanaians to maintain it. I was talking to a group of friends. A lot of them don't live in Ghana. And they were saying that one of the reasons why Ghana is so peaceful is because we just love our wache and kinky and kuku. It's like, Ate Shilebi. We are going to look for what we are going to eat, our watch and relax. It's not now that we are coming to fight civil war. Like, we can't.
So we're more concerned about our watching.
Like, we are just too, like, life is just too chilled and...
We want to worry about.
Like, we are now coming to fight over, you know. And I think that it's possible for a large majority of Ghanaians. Yeah, you know, we love living in Ghana. There's a certain peace. There's a system. You know how to work the system. You know, you're going at it and everything. But, of course, we can't take for granted that we have seen... an exhibit of the potential that we have to be violent.
That we could be.
That we could be very violent. And so definitely we need to make sure that we maintain.
If you look at some of the chieftaincy clashes that have erupted in parts of the country, it just goes to tell you that.
And also when we have elections.
Exactly.
And we get really passionate about that as well. But let's get passionate about keeping the peace, shall we? 43 killed, 202 injured in road crashes. SIM cards re-registration, hundreds besiege telco centers as deadline approaches so much. Can you believe I still don't have my Ghana card?
Why not? But this is a conversation we're going to be
We're going to have it, that's why.
How else can we go about it? There should be a better way to go about it.
COVID-19, why do we have to do it? Doesn't make sense.
Let the people converge in these places.
Telcos to re-register.
You know, one of the questions I keep asking is, they're saying that the reason the people have to get to the telcos is because they want to verify that you, the person who connected, used the Ghana card to register, is the same person. Because anybody can take your Ghana card and go through the hashtag and the USSD and get to register or connect. But then how do we know? So the people should show up. So if the people are showing up, it should be a very simple, straightforward process that you show, this is my Ghana card, this is me, this is my number. Why can't you just walk away with it?
I get the whole cyber security, cyber fraud, But this whole thing, me personally, doesn't actually make sense to me.
It makes sense. I mean, if they want to ensure that if someone says, this is my phone number, it is actually that person who owns that phone number. Because then it's a lot easier to track these people, especially because of the fraud that takes place.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, apart from the cybersecurity and stuff, I struggle to get the point.
But that's enough reason why we should.
Well, it is, but I mean, I remember, having lived in the UK, for example, for many years, I never did this. You want T-Mobile or Leica Mobile or whatever, you buy a SIM, you register it, you show your ID. As you're buying the SIM, you show your ID. And that's it. And whatever ID, whether it's your license, your passport, this is like a Ghana card-driven agenda. And it's very annoying because for some of us, even fine, I know that you are for Ghana card, so it's your thing. But for some of us, even at the point of the Ghana card, I'm like, why do we have to make everything so difficult? I have a Ghanaian passport. I have a driver's license. If you tighten the system and you stop corruption, you stop Goro boys, you stop all the ways that people can get these illegal things, then you don't have to question who I am when I come to you with a passport. If you're holding a British passport, nobody questions. Do you know what I mean? If you're holding an American passport, nobody's going to say, okay, you're holding an American passport, you have an American driver's license, but you still need an American national card to prove that you are who you are. And then now go in COVID-19 times to a telco to go and register your phone number. Like, why? We are like so many...
It's because they have been failing.
Oh, it's just...
They're believing that this is the way to, register.
Yeah, but we all know that this is not going to be resolved. We know that the March deadline, no, it is not going to happen.
There are those who are saying it's actually impossible to ensure that, to get everybody else registered before March.
And then what do you do if everybody is not registered? Are you just going to say, okay, you can't use your phone numbers? Okay, fine, we can't use our phone numbers. Already, we don't want to use our phone numbers because of the e-levy. So fine, so take the phone numbers, take your Momo or whatever, and just stop making life so difficult for us. Look at the number of people at the telco. Now, Sanoya Tajame, and now then try and register yourself. And I'm sure there'll be issues. They'll say there's, what is it? Connection. Yeah. We are having system errors. Light off. The receptionist is annoyed. She's tired. Her boyfriend has broken up with her. Somebody there is coughing. I mean, why? Like, can we not? Okay.
Okay, so there's a cartoon in the Daily Guide where SIM card with registration, and this one says Osu yellow 4G. And in this case, people are annoyed that some people come and use protocol to bypass the queues. So it says, we come early.
I love that you said the OC yellow 4G in a Ghana accent.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't notice, did you?
I didn't notice. We come early form line, sleep 3 a.m. Others come 8 a.m. and enter door. And then there's another person says, everywhere you go, it be whom you know. And then, do you know that? So there are some people who are walking in and saying, do you know who we are? Anyway.
Look I haven't finished with the Ghanaian Times, okay, boss. Pop the line.
Okay, so this one is
Medina Zongo Junction. Look at the line. When we have 13,000 active COVID-19 cases, this is what we are doing. There's no other way to do this.
There should be a better way to do this.
The same people who thought of
if this thing, if it was being done, they had found a way of doing and getting rid of people in a much faster way. I don't think the lines would have been there like that. Because I'm saying the person should show up and say, this is my Ghana card. This is my number. And then once you're able to confirm, because that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take so long for the people.
No, it's because I don't know if I don't know the process. I don't know if you're writing.
Apparently you have to go and then they're going to take all your fingerprints. Mm-hmm. I don't think you have to.
Didn't they do all the fingerprints for the voter's ID?
No, even for the Ghana card. They've already done it.
So why are you taking it again?
Exactly.
Oh.
Or if you're just using just one to verify. Once it's just one fingerprint, that should be fine.
The whole thing just doesn't...
Let's get to understand a bit more. We'll get into that later on in the show.
Okay, well, I'm done with the Ghanaian Times.
Okay, let's go to the Daily Dispatch. And McDonald Group's commercial private jet services takes off this month. Global Peace Index, Ghana is second in Africa. Mahama spent 20 billion cedis on education. I have spent 40 billion cedis on education.
Oh, well, good for you for spending more.
So President Nana Akufo-Addo has said he has spent twice as much on education compared to what his immediate predecessor pumped into the sector within their respective first four-year terms. So great has this government's commitment to education been. The public expenditure on education has almost doubled from 20 billion, 700 million cedis between 2013 and 2016. That is in the Mahama era, to 40 billion, 400 million cedis between 2017 and 2020. That is in the Akufo-Addo era, representing an increase of some 95%. Okay, so you're speaking in a speech, you delivered a speech at the Quadrennial National Delegates Conference of the Ghana National Association of Teachers. So yes, 40 billion may have gone into the education, but I think it's about the results. So yes, you can pump so much into it, but what is there to show?
Ultimately.
For now, what we know is that's the free SHS. So people have got into secondary school for free. And that's what's costing us that much. But there are people who are saying, could that money have been spent in a better way? Because if there are people who can afford to pay, why do we have
let
to
them
pay
pay and then pay for
which
those
is one of the
who
things
so it's a needs-based, yeah, finance minister said, yeah.
You know, so if he is thinking that way, I'm wondering why they didn't look at it that way. You know,
too much work?
Implementation.
Too much work, because you have to do needs-based assessments, don't you?
Well, all right, I'll step down as presiding bishop for Perez Chapel soon. That's Bishop Sari saying that. And let's see which of the stories we have. How to get your award into UG, GIMPA, and GIJ. That's Eric's diary. Eric Mensah Ayete, who's an editor at MyJournalOnline.com. Maybe there's someone on the Second Republic. There's an article here. Focus on Ghana's involvement in the Liberian War. It's also a feature. And U.S. Ambassador pays 2,852 cedis admission fee for lady after Facebook fundraiser. Okay, that's nice. So Ambassador Sullivan is pictured here with Mariama Mohammed, the fundraiser. Okay, that's good. Nice gesture. Back page, that's the story of the Magdan Group to employ 400 Ghanaians as its commercial private jet services takes off this month. Okay, that'll be it for me for the Daily Dispatch.
All right, well, that's it for the newspapers this morning. And we're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, Muftal will be bringing us the sports. And then right after that, we'll dive into our telco conversation and get into all of that. And also, if you missed the memorial for the late Elvis Kokokwashi, we'll be bringing you a recap of that. So, good show coming up. Stay tuned in. Don't go anywhere.